Clean my house every week or move out. You're not living here rent-free like some freeloader, Victoria. And honestly, you should be grateful I'm even letting you stay after you lost your job. My brother Derek announced from his leather recliner, pointing at me like I was hired help instead of his younger sister, who'd just survived a company bankruptcy and losing everything. Behind him in the pristine McMansion he'd bought with his wife Lauren's family money. My notebook sat hidden in my guest room nightstand. 6 months of meticulous documentation that I'd been keeping since the day I moved in, tracking every cruel comment, every humiliation, every hour of unpaid labor he'd demanded. What Derek didn't know, what he'd discover when Lauren found those notebooks accidentally looking for her missing earring, was that I hadn't been writing a diary. I'd been documenting a pattern of financial abuse that would make his wife realize who he really was and what he'd been planning to do to her next. But let me back up 7 months to explain how spectacularly this was about to unravel. My name is Victoria Hayes, and until last year, I was a senior graphic designer at a boutique marketing agency in Portland. Good salary, creative work, stable life. Then the company lost its 3 biggest clients in 1 month, couldn't make payroll, and filed for bankruptcy. 43 of us got laid off on the same day. My savings lasted 3 months while I job hunted. Then my landlord sold my building, and I couldn't afford rent at market rates. At 35 years old, I was broke, unemployed, and facing homelessness. I called my older brother Derek. He lived in Seattle with his wife Lauren in a massive house in a wealthy suburb. They had space. They had money. They were family. "Of course you can stay with us," Derek said. "Family helps family." I should have known it wouldn't be that simple. Derek had always been competitive, always needed to be superior. But he was my brother. I was desperate. I moved into their guest room with 2 suitcases and my laptop. The first week was fine. Lauren was kind, sympathetic about my situation. Derek was cordial. Then Derek called a family meeting. "Victoria, we need to discuss your living arrangement," he said, sitting across from me at their dining table like this was a business negotiation. Lauren sat beside him, looking uncomfortable. "Okay," I said warily. "You're living here rent-free. That's fine temporarily. But you need to contribute somehow. I'm looking for work every day. I mean immediately. While you're looking." He slid a piece of paper across the table. "I've made a list of household tasks. If you do these weekly, you can stay rent-free. If you don't, you'll need to pay $1,200 a month or move out." I looked at the list. It was extensive. Deep clean all bathrooms, vacuum and mop entire house, dust all rooms, clean kitchen thoroughly, do all dishes, organize garage, yard work, meal prep 3 dinners per week. "This is a 4,000 square foot house," I said. "This would take 20 hours a week minimum. Then you'll be busy. But hey, it's better than paying rent, right?" "Derek, I don't think," Lauren started. "Lauren, we discussed this. She's living here for free. She should contribute." I looked at my options. Accept the arrangement or be homeless. I accepted. That was 6 months ago. For 6 months, I cleaned Derek's house like a maid. I scrubbed toilets, mopped floors, organized spaces. I meal prepped dinners while applying to jobs. I worked harder than I'd ever worked at my actual job. And Derek got meaner. "You missed a spot on the mirror. The garage isn't organized to my standards. Do it again. These meals are mediocre. Can't you cook better?" He'd walk behind me while I cleaned, pointing out flaws, making me redo work. He'd time how long tasks took and complain if I was inefficient. Lauren was kind when Derek wasn't around. She'd apologize for him. He's stressed about work. He doesn't mean it. But he did mean it. Every word. 2 months in, I started documenting everything. I bought a cheap notebook at the drugstore and started writing down every interaction. March 15th. Derek made me reclean the kitchen because 1 dish in the dishwasher had a water spot. Took 45 minutes. He watched the entire time, making comments about my attention to detail. March 22nd. Derek said I was lucky to have this opportunity to contribute after I spent 6 hours deep cleaning bathrooms. Lauren looked upset but said nothing. April 3rd. Derek asked me to organize his home office. Found documents showing he transferred $50,000 from joint account with Lauren to personal account without telling her. Took photos, That last entry was significant. While organizing Derek's office, I'd found financial documents he'd left out. Bank statements. Account transfers. He'd been systematically moving money from his joint account with Lauren. Money that came from her family trust, into personal accounts only he controlled. I took pictures, documented everything. I started paying attention to how Derek talked to Lauren. The subtle put-downs, the control, how he managed her spending from her own money, how he made financial decisions without consulting her. Derek wasn't just cruel to me. He was financially and emotionally abusive to his wife. I'd just had a front row seat to watch it happen. My notebook filled up. Then a second one. Then a third. May 18th. Derek told Lauren she'd spent too much at the grocery store. Her family trust funds their entire lifestyle, but he controls how she accesses their money. She apologized for buying organic vegetables. June 2nd. Found documents in Derek's desk showing he's been researching post-nuptial agreements. He wants Lauren to sign away rights to her trust fund in case of divorce. June 24th. Derek humiliated me in front of Lauren's parents during dinner, saying I was the family charity case and that he was teaching me responsibility. Lauren's mother looked horrified. I kept documenting, kept cleaning, kept surviving, because I had a plan. I was going to get out of this house, but I was going to make sure Lauren got out too. Then everything accelerated. 2 weeks ago, I got a job offer. A great one. Senior design role at a major agency, $95,000 salary, benefits, everything. I was starting in 3 weeks. I didn't tell Derek. I was going to wait until the last possible moment, give him minimal notice, and leave. But then Lauren found my notebooks. She'd lost an earring, a family heirloom. She was frantically searching the guest room, with my permission, looking everywhere. That's when she found them. 3 notebooks. 6 months of documentation. Hidden in my nightstand drawer. She started reading. I came home from a job interview to find Lauren sitting on my bed, all 3 notebooks spread around her, tears streaming down her face. Is all of this true? She asked. My stomach dropped. Lauren, I can explain. Is it true? Everything you wrote about Derek. I sat down carefully. Yes. Every word. He's been transferring my trust fund money to private accounts. Yes. I have photos of the documents. He's been researching post-nuptial agreements to take control of my money? Yes. She looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me? I'm the freeloader sister living in your guest room. Derek's your husband. Without proof, it would have been my word against his. So you documented everything. I documented everything. Not just what he did to me, but what I saw him doing to you. The control. The manipulation. The way he talks to you about money, that's yours. Lauren stood up and started pacing. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was being too sensitive when he criticized how I spent money. My money. From my family. You're not crazy. He's been systematically isolating you from your own finances. My family warned me before we got married. They said Derek was too controlling. I didn't listen. She laughed bitterly. They made me keep my trust fund in my name only. Thank God. Lauren, there's more. I showed her the photos on my phone. The account transfers. The documents about post-nuptial agreements. I think he's planning to either get you to sign away control of your trust, or divorce you and try to claim half. Her face went from sad to angry. 6 years. I've been married to him for 6 years. And this whole time, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You gave me proof. You gave me documentation. She picked up the notebooks. Can I keep these? They're yours. I wrote them for you as much as for me. That night, Derek came home to find Lauren sitting at the dining table with all 3 notebooks open in front of her. What's this? He asked. Your sister's documentation of the last 6 months. Want to read it? His face went pale. That's private. Is it private? Or is it evidence? Lauren's voice was steel. Evidence that you've been financially abusing me. Evidence that you've transferred $180,000 from our joint account to personal accounts I didn't know about. Evidence that you've been researching how to take control of my trust fund. Lauren, you're misunderstanding. I'm not misunderstanding anything. My lawyer will explain it to you. Because I called him this afternoon. I'm filing for divorce. Derek's face went from pale to red. You can't, that's ridiculous. I can and I am. And Derek, you're moving out. Tonight. This is my house. Actually, it's my house. I bought it with my trust fund. It's in my name only. Remember? You convinced me it would be better for taxes. She smiled coldly. Turns out it's better for divorce too. Derek looked at me with pure hatred. This is your fault. You poisoned her against me. No, Lauren interrupted. You did this yourself. Victoria just documented it. And the financial transfers, the secret accounts, the post-nuptial agreement research, that's all you. I was protecting our assets. You were stealing from me. My lawyer confirmed it this afternoon. You've been systematically moving community property into accounts I can't access. That's financial abuse. Derek tried every argument, every manipulation, every control tactic he'd used successfully for 6 years. None of it worked. By midnight, he'd packed a bag and left for a hotel. By the next week, Lauren had filed for divorce and obtained a restraining order after Derek showed up drunk, demanding to be let into his house. By the end of the month, Derek had hired 3 lawyers and fired 2 when they told him he had no case. The divorce settled after 4 months. Lauren kept the house, her trust fund, and half of the genuine marital assets. Derek got half of the marital assets, which, without Lauren's money, wasn't much. He'd been living above his means for years on her family's wealth. Throughout the process, my notebooks were entered as evidence. The judge found them credible, detailed, and damning. These demonstrate a clear pattern of financial control and emotional abuse, the judge noted. Ms. Hayes' documentation corroborates the financial records and shows systematic manipulation. Derek left court looking 10 years older. As for me, I started my new job, moved into my own apartment, got my life back on track. Lauren and I became genuinely close. You saved me, she said one day over coffee. I just wrote down what I saw. You did more than that. You saw what I couldn't see. You documented it when I was too controlled to notice. You gave me the tools to get out. Why didn't you stop Derek from treating me like a maid? She looked ashamed. I didn't know how. He'd convinced me that I was too soft, too privileged, that I didn't understand how real people lived. When he made you clean, I thought maybe he was right. Maybe I was too easy on you. She paused. That's what abuse does. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you complicit in someone else's cruelty. I understand. I should have stood up for you. I'm sorry. You stood up for both of us when it mattered. A year later, I'm thriving. New job, new apartment, new life. I speak at domestic violence awareness events sometimes, talking about financial abuse and how documentation can save lives. Lauren's thriving too. She started a nonprofit helping women escape financially abusive relationships. She funds it with her trust fund, the one Derek tried to steal. Derek, I heard he's working in sales somewhere, struggling to maintain the lifestyle he'd grown accustomed to on Lauren's money. He sends threatening emails sometimes. We forward them to lawyers and police. He's racking up restraining order violations. When I moved into Derek's house, desperate and broken, he demanded I clean like a maid or get out. He thought he was teaching me responsibility. Instead, I taught his wife who he really was. My notebooks, 6 months of documentation, hidden in a nightstand drawer, became the evidence that freed us both. Derek demanded I clean his house. I cleaned out his lies instead. And sometimes the most powerful rebellion isn't fighting back. It's writing everything down and waiting for the truth to surface.